Are you serious? Are you serious? Hang on, St. Barnabas Hospital in Livingston, New Jersey. A lady walked up to me and told me, she said, listen, you have to hear me. But over 20 years ago, they began these experimental manipulation of the DNA, trying to create three children born with three sets of parents. Three parents. Three individual parents. Not two individual parents, but three. Now, she said, and they were successful. There was a crop of them that were born. She said, and so they ought to be getting, in their teens. And I was asked the question, is it possible that the New World Order is trying to create the Antichrist? Now, you have to understand, you might say, Paul, you're far-fetched, you're crazy. Who ever heard of this? And now I have documented proof there was children born with the DNA of three people. Matter of fact, Adolf Hitler, that's exactly what he was trying to do in his backbreeding program, was trying to create the perfect race, the Aryan race. But he was doing more than that. He was trying to create the Antichrist. He was backbreeding with satanic ritual reproduction, trying to create the Antichrist. Now, here's what we have. There are children with three-way DNA, and they are healthy. This is a report that came out in October. More than 15 years ago, there were 17 babies were born after an experimental fertility treatment that gave the DNA from three people. Mom, dad, and an egg donor. Now, researchers have checked up on how the babies are doing as teenagers, and the preliminary verdict is the kids are all right, with no sign of unusual health problems, excellent grades in school at ages 13 to 18. So the oldest one is 18. These children are doing well, said the embryologist Jacques Cohen of the Institute of Reproductive Medicine and Science at St. Barnabas in Livingston, New Jersey, where the treatment was done. Now, I actually spoke to a lady while I was in New Jersey. We preached and had a great time in Boston, Massachusetts on a Friday night. Then on that Sunday afternoon, we did the same thing in New Jersey, and this lady came. I won't give her name. Okay, that includes Emma Foster. She's 17 years old of Red Bank, New Jersey. I turned out normal, she said. Foster said in an interview Tuesday. She's a cheerleader since the age of 10. She's now looking at colleges and thinking of majoring in engineering. The infertility procedure is no longer performed, but the study of the children is timely because just last month, the first baby was born from a different procedure that also mixes the genetic material from three people. That technique is aimed not at infertility, but at preventing the child from inheriting harmful genes. Here's where we're going now. From the mother, folks, it's a lot deeper than that. Critics are concerned about its long-term safety. So finding no problem so far with the infertility treatment is helpful, a good message, they say, for people considering the disease prevention procedures. What they want to do is create the perfect genetic specimen. It's the same thing that Hitler wanted to do. But now we have the technology that has advanced to the point that it can be done. The technology is catching up with the prophecy. Now here's what they did in these first set of kids 20 years ago when they started this. And that was they took the sperm of a father and the egg of a mother and took the nucleus out of the egg and took the nucleus out of another woman's egg and put it in the mother's egg. So then those are mixed, a baby's born, it has the DNA of three individuals instead of two. And now what they want to do is that same procedure plus genetically change the genetics of the cell, of the embryo. Just like they've done with the wheat and the corn and the barley And everything else that you see out there that we're eating, it's GMOs. They have GMO mosquitoes. They have GMO animals. They have GMO seed and crops. They want to create the genetically perfect human race. We're right back to where Hitler led off. But now they have the technology to do it. And they're finally sharing this with us. So how far advanced do you think they really are? We've already cloned sheep, so you know they've cloned people. But it's not one thing to clone people. It's another thing to create the genetically perfect specimen in your own mind, whatever that is, and then to clone them and start to create a super army. All right? Demonically charged. Trust me. Not these folks. These kids were just born. They're fine. It's, the best we can tell. But what's going forward is what they will do as we go forward. Well, there's 14 of 33 patients have become pregnant in what is called cystoplasma. All right? That's injecting a small amount of an embryo, genes in a mitochondrial DNA. Don't affect traits like eyes and hair, but are important for keeping cells healthy throughout the body. So Cohen's Hospital performed an infertility treatment between 1996 and 2001. 33 couples who failed to conceive after roughly 5 tries at in vitro fertilization. We felt that there was something wrong with the cystoplasma and that injecting a small amount of it from a healthy egg donor might aid embryo development. 14 of the 33 patients became pregnant. 13 ultimately gave birth to 18 babies, including 2 sets of twins and 1 quadruplets. Of the 18 babies was a twin from a standard egg donation. Doctors also included data on the child in the follow-up study. Cohen and his colleagues presented their findings Wednesday in the journal Reproductive Biomedicine Online. The parents of these quadruplets refused multiple requests for follow-up information. Doctors know only that all 4 are alive and are in high school. Okay, so this is what they did. They started this process 20 years ago. We understand that there is 17 kids out there who have the DNA of 3 people. And now they're going to the next level, and that is to create children that are genetically perfect with no signs of any genetic flaws. They want to create the GMO race. Here we go again, but this time the technology has caught up with the prophecy. Are you serious? Keep a close eye on this, folks. The Bible told you not to mix the seed. It told us in the very creation. He even said it with all of the plants that were being created. God in the very beginning told us not to mix the seeds, not to keep everything in their own kind. You can go right to the first chapter of Genesis. God called the dry land earth, and gathering together the waters called the seas. God saw that it was good. God said, let the earth bring forth grass and herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth. Okay? The earth brought forth grass, herb yielding seed after his kind, tree yielding fruit, whose seed was in itself after his kind, and God saw that it was good. All right? He never wanted us to mix the seeds. He never, ever wanted us to mess with the DNA. Are you saved? Give your life to Jesus Christ. We're living in the last days.